gonna do a video. We're gonna do a video today about breastfeeding. I'm gonna do a three-part. I'm gonna do 3 parts to this. I'm gonna do the first part is gonna be like my tips to anyone out there who is going to be or who is pregnant and about to breastfeed, or who is having a hard time with breastfeeding. Because whenever we first started breastfeeding, when he was a newborn, we definitely ran into a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but our fair share of breastfeeding obstacles. And I didn't have a lot of people around me who had breastfed before. Really, it was a few YouTube videos. That, and I did have a couple, I think 2 breastfeeding moms who kind of helped me out. But for the most part, I was completely in the dark, completely new to it. I had no idea what I was doing. So anyways, if anybody out there needs help with breastfeeding, my breastfeeding tips will probably help you, because these are, I pretty much put together a list of 5 of the most important tips for anyone out there who is wondering how to make breastfeeding, how to be successful at breastfeeding, and also how to correct some of the common issues that you have. So I'm going to just get right on into it. This first video is going to be my top 5 breastfeeding tips, tricks, and advice. And then the next video, part 2, is going to be our breastfeeding journey. The different struggles that we had, how we overcame them. Yes, I'll save the rest of that for part 2. And then part 3 will be myths that I was told before and during breastfeeding, and I just want to go ahead and clear that up. So that'll be in part 3. So this one is the top 5 breastfeeding tips, and I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. So I'm going to start with number 5, and then number 1 being like the top tip. So number 1, don't listen to what other people say about their horror stories. Pretty much everyone, almost all of the women in my family had negative stories about breastfeeding. And it was just because most of them were like my mom, or middle age. So it was back before YouTube, before the internet, before you could look up a large population of breastfeeding women for advice. So back then, you were told, if you were a woman trying to breastfeed, you were told that it was either a negative thing, like people looked down on you for breastfeeding. It was gross. It was considered gross. Or you were told that you probably are not going to produce enough, or what is in your breast milk is not going to be adequate to meet the baby's needs. And so a lot of people stopped breastfeeding. A lot of women back in the day stopped breastfeeding early, like quickly. They gave up. And I probably would have too, had I not had the information that I had, or that I have. So anyways, those have come into even modern day as well. People stop breastfeeding because they don't produce enough. You're not true. You can get to a point where you don't produce enough, but 1, that happens because you are not allowing the baby to nurse the way he needs to nurse, or she needs to nurse, to get your production up. Or I know. Or he did that, and now I don't remember what I was saying about production. So basically, The whole I don't produce enough thing is you were not nursing as often as the baby needed you to keep your production up. So that's all I'm gonna say about that one for now. 4 is to relax. Like, that is definitely one of the top 5 tips. Relax, be comfortable. My stepmom and sister make fun of me because most of the time I wear the same sports bra. It's not even a nursing bra, it's a sports bra, and it is dingy looking, but it is so comfortable and so easy for me to just whip a boob out and nurse him. And so they make fun of me for that, and I wear a lot of tank tops. I don't like lifting my whole shirt up and then having to unclamp things and work in between like a bra under here and a shirt up here. To me, I don't know, that wasn't comfortable for me. So I wear tank tops, I take a whole arm right on out. The whole arm comes right on out of the bra and the shirt, and he just has the boob, and I don't have to worry about pressure anywhere. It's very comfortable. So to be successful at breastfeeding, you need to be comfortable. Being comfortable is so important. So yeah, be comfortable. Be comfortable in your clothing, be comfortable where you're sitting, and then the next, or number 2 kind of goes into that, or kind of correlates with that a little bit, but number 4, be comfortable in what you're wearing. And if you're doing it and you're like, God, this is just so uncomfortable, figure it out. Wear a different bra, get a different shirt, something. 3 is drink water. Drink water. And I know that's a tip that is in almost every breastfeeding video, and I got really tired of hearing it because it sounds like your mom. Drink water. Sorry, Mom. But it is true. If you want to keep your production up, it's as easy as drinking water. And you might find with breastfeeding that you crave water. Like, you're super thirsty because the baby is taking out a lot of your fluids. A lot of fluids that you have. So you definitely need to drink water. So if you drink water, your baby is going to be hydrated, you're going to stay hydrated and energized, and your production is going to stay up. Very important. Number 2 on my tips of breastfeeding, remember to trust nature. One of the, a nursing consultant, a breastfeeding consultant, whatever, in the hospital, lactation consultant, lactation specialist, whatever. That person, oh God, if I could only remember her name, I would love to like send her flowers and a thank you card, because some of the things she said to me that first day, those first 2 days in the hospital after he was born, had a huge impact on our success, our breastfeeding success. So she told me, trust nature. Your body and your baby were made and formed to work together. He already came programmed knowing how to nurse. That was amazing to me, that I didn't have to teach him how to nurse. He knew how to do it. Granted, I think I was more ignorant on how it works than he was, because he absolutely knew exactly what to do. So trust nature, and don't try to control everything. You know, I feel like with this day and age, I feel like we are so trying to control. Uh-oh, he's gonna get fussy. Oh, you want these? In this day and age, we're trying to control things so much, and you do not have to control it. You just have to listen to your baby, because your baby knows what to do. And that goes into, well, let me just say a little bit more about trusting nature and how nature plays into it. So I was told by that lactation consultant that a baby is born knowing that it needs to nurse immediately. And so much so that even if the mom is like completely out of it, which you normally are after giving birth, the baby doesn't need you to help it. It is programmed to come out and crawl up the mother's body to the breast and start nursing itself. It doesn't even need you. All you have to do is lay there. And that is so amazing to me. I mean, I could almost cry. It's just amazing to me. Yeah, I'm almost gonna cry. And, whew. So yeah, just, you have to trust nature and stop trying to control it. The baby knows how to. The baby knows what to do, and that goes into my number one tip, which I guess 1 and 2 kind of go together, but number 1 is listen to your baby. If your baby says I'm hungry, if your baby's fussing, try nursing. And if your baby needs to nurse all day long, there's nothing wrong. That does not mean your production is gone. That does not mean you're not meeting your baby's needs. That means your baby is going through maybe a growth spurt or is trying to increase your production. Nurse him or her all day long. Do whatever. One thing, your baby's not going to overeat, and they're not going to let themselves starve. So as long as you listen. Okay, so, alright, so my battery died, and then the baby started crying. It's hard to get anything done. Are you gonna, he's in his little playpen thing, and he sees me, and he wants to be with me. So I'm gonna have to get him. Alright, but I do want to finish real quick what I was saying. I was almost done with that video, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it real quick. Like I was saying, if the baby wants to nurse all day long, which we call cluster feeding, just let them. It is difficult, but it's a short amount of time. Like, it's so short when I think about it. I can barely remember it because it was just nothing, you know. At the time, it seemed really difficult, and it's very tiring. It's exhausting, but get through it because it's worth it. So anyways, one of the things that happens when your baby is nursing is they're releasing chemicals, and that tells your body what needs to be, I say chemicals, yeah, hormones. They're releasing certain chemicals that respond to your hormones, or that your hormones respond to, that tells your body this is what your baby needs, this is what you need to produce. And so that's really cool. So yeah, number 1 is listen to your baby, and just relax. Just go with it. Stop. Don't fight it. So if you are having an issue right now, number 1 thing I would say to you is just listen to your baby. If your baby is acting hungry, let them nurse. You know, they're crying for, or not crying, but they need to nurse for something. And most of the time it is to change the type of milk they're getting or increase the production. So if they're nursing, if they're wanting to cluster feed, it's a good thing. It means that they are talking to your body. So listen to your baby. Okay, see, was that so hard? And now the battery has to die. It is dying, so I need to charge it before I do breastfeeding part 2. And I will talk all about our breastfeeding journey. As interesting as it has been interesting. So